Hello everyone, so we're going to be talking about the Airtel smart router. Now on my channel I already made a video about this router where I went more in depth about it, which you can watch up here or in the description of this video, or to check my channel page you'll see it. Now in this video I'm going to talk about the gaming capabilities of this device, because in my previous video about this device, I showed that you could play games on it, like games like Asphalt, Hungry Shark, Beach Buggy Racing, and so on. And a lot of people were commenting about the gaming capabilities of this thing. I should go more into it. So I decided, let me actually do it. Because at first I didn't want to do it, but I said, hey, let me actually do something for more clarification. Now, in my previous video, I read a comment about this device, and someone was asking me to talk more about the gaming capability because of the fact that they showed the Airtel staff my video, and the Airtel staff were not even aware that this device has gaming capabilities. Now, the main selling point of this device right here is to promote the consumption of audio visual content, like, your movies, your TV shows, your Netflix, your YouTube, your Amazon Prime, or any other streaming services that you consume. Now, this does have gaming capabilities, but the thing is that people prefer to watch their movies on this than to game, which is why those gaming capabilities are not talked about, because of the fact that people prefer movies over games when it comes to a device like this. Now, another comment that I got in my previous video was about whether or not that they can use like a flash drive to copy games into this device. And I will say yes and no, and hear me out. Now, yes, you can get a flash drive and copy your games and put onto this thing. But however, the issue has to do with compatibility. Now, let me explain further. There was this app I downloaded and installed on this box here. Now, the main issue that it had was the fact that I couldn't use the included Airtel remote to control the app at all, to navigate at all. I couldn't do that, and I had to see myself buying an extra peripheral just for the thing to work. Like, which is why earlier in my previous video I said that now that if you didn't want to use the included Airtel remote that it came with this box, something like that, you could buy an external remote. Like, you could buy all those air remotes and everything. So now a lot of these apps may not be compatible. So you may need to buy all those air remotes just to be able to use them. And at the same time, there are some apps that literally would refuse to install. Like, for example, I tried to download Dream League, the football game, on this thing. You cannot download it on the Play Store, so I downloaded it externally and put it inside the flash drive. Now, for Dream League to work on a phone, something like that, like if you download it externally, there are some files that are needed. If not, the game will not work. So I literally tried to download these files, like, I mean, to copy the files into this thing, like where it needs to be for it to work, and it failed. I did this thing with multiple games, and they all failed. It wouldn't let me copy them into that stuff, making these games unplayable essentially. Which is why I said you should stick with whatever is available to download on the Play Store that is built into this, not the one that is for your phone. In my previous video, I also got a comment asking which game controller I use, because in that video I use a controller to play some of the games, and this is the controller I used here. This is a wireless Nintendo Switch controller by a company called Power A. So I got this thing from the US and all that. And let me just tell you the truth. You do not need this controller here. You do not need to ship the thing from US. Like, I mean, I didn't ship this from US. Like, people from US came and they gifted this thing to us. So yeah, you do not need this exact controller. If you want to buy a Nintendo Switch controller, you can go on Jumia or Konga and look for a wireless pro controller. It saves you way more money than shipping it from US, to be very honest with you. In addition, you can even check AliExpress and Temu for a wireless Nintendo Pro controller. Like, if you get what I mean, you can check those places as well. It's also a good investment too, to buy from those places than getting it from the US, in my opinion. Additionally, for the Airtel smart router, wired controllers also work. So this is also a Nintendo Switch controller from Power A as well. So this is a wired controller. Like, it needs the wire to work. If not, it's not gonna work. Basically, you plug this controller to the USB of this. You plug it here for it to work, and then you can control it in, like, if you want to, like, anyhow you want. But if I'm gonna be realistic with you, if you need any controller for this Airtel smart router, buy a PlayStation controller like PS4, PS5. It's the best one, the most affordable one that you can buy. You don't need Nintendo Switch. Like any wireless gaming controller will work, but I would just say that if you do like PlayStation everything, like I'll just realistically speaking, just buy this. And if you want to connect this thing to your TV box like a PlayStation controller, you hold this PlayStation button here, and there's this button here that's called share. When you hold it for a few seconds, what happens is that the light starts blinking here. Then you go on the Bluetooth option of your Airtel smart router, and then you're gonna see the option of dual shock control, like that's PS4. If it's a PS5 controller, you see dual sense. So you just connect it, and then from there, use it to play your games or whatever you want to do. A physical controller that I got from the US and stuff, if you want to basically connect this thing to the TV box, there's a button up here, as you can see. If you hold this button, what happens is that you'll see like a light that'll be lighting under here. That shows that you can connect to it. Like this controller uses like all this double A batteries. So if you open it now, you can see batteries here. Like so, I think the batteries are dead. So you can just buy batteries and use them. Like that's the thing that's really cool. You can even use an Xbox controller as well. You do not even need this. Like to be very honest with you. Now, after controllers and everything, if you want the best gaming experience on this Airtel smart router, in fact, on any Android TV box for that matter, let me just tell you, download PPSSPP, like the PSP emulator, the thing that lets you play PSP games. You will have the best experience. And like the best thing about this smart router is the fact that you can download PPSSPP directly from the Play Store that's built into this. So you don't need to get the thing externally. All you just have to do just to find games that you play on it. Like that's the only thing you have to just do. Now playing PSP on this smart router is actually pretty good. Like the experience is fun. There are no slowdowns or anything. Like everything is just so good. So I played three different games. The first game I played is Soul Calibur Broken Destiny, and in this game you have Kratos as a playable character. Isn't that pretty cool? Well, the second game I played is Naruto Shippuden, and this game was also really fun as well. It was like really nice and all that. And then the final game I played in this video is FIFA Street. So this game was actually pretty nice as well, but I think my favorite one has to be the Soul Calibur game, to be very honest with you. And for PSP, you can download several games apart from these three that I played. Okay, so after playing PSP on the Android smart router, here are some things that I think you should know. First of all, I remember I showed this controller here earlier in the video. Now, do not use this controller when playing PSP on your smart router because of the fact that when it comes to the controls, not everything works. And to go and start mapping everything, it still won't work. It's just a pain to use this controller. Instead, get a PlayStation 4 PlayStation 5 controller. This is much better because everything already works like out of the box, so you don't need to really do that much, to be very honest with you. Now, secondly, when it comes to PSP, the PSP has a very good library of games that you can play in the case where now you want something that's interesting and you want to play on your smart TV. So you can play things like God of War, you can play things like Grand Theft, FIFA, PES, like Tekken, all those good games. You can play all of them there. Just need to find how you download it and play it and have fun with it. Now, finally, the main downside of playing with PSP on any Android smart TV, even the Airtel one, it doesn't matter, is the fact that you cannot do multiplayer. It doesn't matter if you have like 2 or 4 of these controllers, you cannot do multiplayer. You can only play single player. So I mean, if you're someone who loves single player games, you just like the single player experience, then I would recommend you leave it that way. So yeah, that's it. If you own any Android smart router and you want to use it for gaming, please comment below. And if you have any questions, you're free to comment below as well. And anyways, I hope I see you guys next time. Goodbye.